Hey everyone, welcome back to another installment of Countercast. My name is Play, and I'm joined by my friend Grim. This week we're going to talk about what we think makes a great hero. But before we get into that, hit it. Okay, so you already heard. This week we want to talk about what our favorite, not our favorite, what do we think goes into making a great hero? You know, something like the Batman's, the Superman, the Spider Man's, the Wonder Woman's, the whole shebang. Personally, I would like to start off saying what I think makes a great hero is something that is kind of sort of not taken for granted, but isn't really focused on more, in my opinion. It should be focusing on relatability. Being able to look at a hero and think, hey, maybe I could be like them goes a long way for me. So someone like Spider Man, since he's just some regular as you could. Regular isn't really the word for it because he's still without the powers. He's a super genius that can basically revolutionize the world with his intellect. But for the most part, a lot of the recent Spider-Man media gives you the message that hey, as long as you feel the need or know how to do the right thing, you can put on the mask. So, like, what you call it? In That was the whole point of Into the Spider Verse, right? Miles was learning throughout the story that hey, man, I may not be Peter Parker, but it doesn't matter because I still know that I have a responsibility to do the right thing, so I can be Spider Man. It doesn't matter. Spider Man is not just Peter Parker. Like Stan Lee himself said, the suit always fits eventually, right? Which is a great message because like the right people can grow into being an amazing hero. Now, I also do tend to enjoy heroes that are a little more on the what you call it wild side. We can say, yeah, wow. So like some anti-heroes like Deadpool, but I think Deadpool's a little extreme. But someone who's willing to do what it takes to get the right things done. Like Batman, you know. We all love to meme the breaks your ankles, snaps your spine in half, throws you off a building, and then hits you with the now talk. But hey man, he's willing to do what it takes. I can't fault that.
Mhm.
Right? So stuff like that, I just really like when it comes to hero. Like recently, I finished Justice League, and that brought this to the forefront of my mind because you get to see all different types of hero. Something like Wonder Woman, she was grown, no, she was raised on Themyscira, so she was isolated from humanity. Yet she still grew up the sense of justice of having to serve the greater purpose of the world. And I'm like, is that something that can be learned, or is that just an intrinsic thing in some people? And these superhero stories give you a reason or a chance to sort of look within yourself and find an answer. Another like recent hero that I think is a good example of that is like Mark from Invincible, right? Like there's these jokes going around like, oh, he should change his name from Invincible because he's anything but. But the thing that's invincible about him is his will. No matter how many times he gets beaten up, broken down, like uh broken bones, smashed up, he'll always get back up to try to defend the right thing, you know? That's why that one particular scene was devastating. Not the train one. The one where I'm trying to say when he's trying to save the old lady. It was like one of his first outings as a hero. Like he was just trying to do the right thing, but it ended up not working. Right? But he didn't let that hold him back. He still got up and tried again. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of my initial response to that. What about you? What do you think makes a great hero?
I would say what makes a great hero is their ability to inspire
Okay, so
others.
like an icon.
You could say an icon, but not really
So,
an icon, but sure you could go with that.
Okay. So, for example, would you put All Might in that category?
Yeah, I would say All Might does have that credibility to go into that category. We
Okay.
know that every hero inspires to be something like All Might. Maybe not exactly like him, but some aspect of him we're trying to follow by
It-
example. So we see that when All Might steps down and Endeavor is the one who has to become the number one hero, when he was fighting that Nomu and he manages to beat him, after he beat him, the first thing that he did was did a stance that was similar to All Might, but a little different because he added his own thing to it, right?
yeah.
Those types of things where if it wasn't for who All Might was, it's not wrong to say that the heroes in that world would basically crumble.
True. He is the symbol of hope and peace. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because then you watch the journey of Deku trying to fill those shoes after everything that's going down. Even currently, he still holds that ideal of All Might to such a high standard. And that's true. A hero like that in that kind of world is pretty good. Like, would you also say Superman represents that for DC?
Yeah, I mean, Superman, that's what he's all about. That's what the S stands for, anyways. His character, I mean, for Superman, his character is just, when it comes to treating himself as a superhero, I mean, you go on the basic level, it's not really interesting per se. He's very powerful and
Hmm.
he could pretty much do anything. So when you go down to a character perspective to make him interesting, you probably would have a hard time because you know that aspect of relatability isn't there. If you have a character
That's
that is
true.
strong enough to do anything, then not many fans can relate to it. So his
That's true.
character just represents something different, which is he inspires people to be the best, right?
Hmm.
He's not from Earth. He's not one of us,
Well, he
but
was raised as one of us, right? I think
true.
I
But
think like not to just counter your point or whatever, but like the way I feel like a lot of the ways people write Superman, they by having him grow up as a human being, or at least going through the human experience, it does sort of inject some relatability into him, but not really, because not everyone's a farm boy. Not everyone grows up on a farm with adoptive parents that you love like your real parents. But I feel like that's kind of a way they try to put that in the story.
yeah, maybe. But either way, however they try and go about it, it just ends in the same direction where basically, even with all this power and the ability to basically take over the world if he wants to, he doesn't
Hmm.
because he sees the good in people and he every day he strives to do what's right. So
Mm,
when it comes to his character, he's just the example
that's true.
of
That's
it.
true. Like I brought it up earlier, but in the Justice League cartoon from the early 2000s, Superman's character went through. I don't know how you describe his character arc, right? Because in the first version or first season, right, in season one of Justice League, the show, the writers found it difficult to like write around him, so they would, uh, hmm, they sort of nerfed his power, but they went too far and made him kind of a wimp, right? So it seemed like every time the league would face a challenge, Superman would be the first one to get taken out, and it'd be like, wow, is this really our guy? And if you go to like a commentary or I hear any type of comments on the situation, the reason they did it like that is because they wanted to emphasize how serious the threats were, but they realized how they overdid it, right? So from the rest of season two and on, they scaled back on that, and Superman's kind of shown to be what he is, Superman. He is an invulnerable force that is really like I don't want to say he's the trump card, but he's kind of like, all right, if we can't do it, we know he can, right? And if he can't do it, we're fucked. But
Hmm.
but the show never really goes overboard with it, right? They kind of reach a perfect balance where, oh, Superman is gonna show up and the day is saved, but it's not like, oh, great, the problem doesn't matter since Superman can show up and fix it. In particular, there was one episode where it's called the Justice Lords, not the episode, but like the group. It's another universe where the League goes not evil, but they enforce their will in a very extreme way. It starts off because, or it's all set off because the Flash is killed in some off-screen way. So that kind of sends the rest of the league over the edge. Superman confronts in their world President Lex Luthor, and Lex kind of taunts Superman, saying, "Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? You ain't shit, because you just gonna
Hmm.
follow the law anyway." And Superman said, "You know what? Laser vision," and just killed the president, right? And that set off the league becoming this. I don't want to say superpower, but they became a just uh, damn, what's the word for it? A force, right? Not a police force, but everyone in the world was like, "Oh, yeah, we gotta listen to these guys. They're the rulers, the lords." Yeah, that's why they call justice lords. I thought about it, right? Now, like I said, this is another universe. At some point in this episode, they peer into the main universe and they see how the main Justice League is like not at their point yet. They're still listening and going by the laws, following all the rules, doing stuff the right way. So they're like, you know what? They're clearly weak. They're not willing to do what needs to be done. So let's go over to their universe and do it for them. So they ambush the main Justice League, throw them in, like knock them out, throw them in jail, and they're like, man, we're gonna take their place and do what needs to be done. And the first thing that happens, right, where I'm going for is uh what's his name? Doomsday shows up, right? Like he shows up and does his thing, starts destroying stuff around, and you're like, oh, we know how this goes. Doomsday meets Superman fight. Superman dies trying to kill, not kill or defeat Doomsday. But you're like, no, no. What happens is Justice Lord Superman pulls up to Doomsday and is like, you know what? I'm tired of your shit. And lobotomizes this man with his laser vision. He just lasers into his skull and turns him into like he turns off all his basic functions. All he can do is breathe and drool. And you're like, wow, wow. This is what could happen if Superman just didn't have a moral code. He could literally deal with most villains like that. Just lobotomize them. And that's that. And seeing that as like the I don't say is it antithesis? Yeah. Seeing that as the opposite of what Superman is as a character, it shows that like, yo, his moral code is so ingrained in him that we have to be thankful that he wouldn't go this far because it really ruins the whole aspect of being a hero, right? Because like you're right. He could just do do the injustice thing and just take over the world and do whatever. But he doesn't. He realizes that with his with his power, he has sort of a responsibility to use it for the greater good instead of just enforcing his own will on the people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Hmm.
these types of things are what make him the hero that he is at the end of
Yes,
the day. He's
the
just
symbol. Ugh.
that and the small things, I guess.
True, true. The small things. I was actually thinking about that, and we can get into that. But another thing I want to mention is later on in the same series, Superman and the original seven, they try to close down the Justice League because they realize they've gone too far, not with their control, but there's no one to keep them in check. They're like, you know what? Since no one can control us, we're shutting it down. And Green Arrow said it himself. He said, "There is no league without Superman. We need you. You are the face." And Superman, everyone was like clapping. And Superman realized, like, yeah, he's kind of right. So we're gonna start over. Instead of having a giant space tower watching down on the Earth, we're gonna have the Hall, the Hall of Justice, so that we're down on the same level as everyone. The humans were all eye to eye with them instead of looking down on them from above. And I'm like, I appreciated that. And when you say the small things, that was something else I really, really want to like attribute to a great hero. A hero that will take the time and just be with the average Joe. And or not even the average Joe, sometimes with their own villains. Have you ever heard of that Spider-Man storyline where Sandman is dying?
No.
Well, all right. So basically, how it goes is Spider-Man is like, how he's not fighting. He runs into Sandman, and Sandman's like, I don't even want to fight anymore, man. He's like, what's happening? And he's terminally ill. Like, there's no cure. He's going to die. So Spider-Man realizes that, man, this is crazy, and he sits with Sandman and just have a chat with him. Right? Over the course of the story, it develops, and Sandman's like, "Ah, man, I don't even know what you look like for real. That's crazy, right? I'd just be fighting you every day, or every time you fight, I don't even know what you look like." And Spider Man, this killed me. Spider Man's like, "Look, man, I can take off my mask." And he's reaching to take off his mask, and Sam's like, "No, no, 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 bro. I could not stand it if you were handsome." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy." Right? And Spider Man's like, "All right, you got it." And then he left his mask off, and like as they're talking, Sandman just sort of fades, right? Like he slowly stops talking, and then just drifts off into the wind. And the moments like that, I'm like, wow, they're really focusing on the human side of the hero aspect because you know, as depressing as it is, people die, and having a hero just understand this and give comfort to someone in their final moments. I'm like, damn, like he could have just been like, "Well, you make my life hard, Sandman. Fuck you," and dip. But he's like, "Nah. At this moment, we're equals. You're just a man that's dying, and I'm just another guy. I'll listen to your final words." And I was like, "Wow, that's that's crazy." Like Sandman told him a story about how his mother used to bring him to the beach, and I guess that's why he loves sand. Which was kind of weird, but you know,
Yeah. Those little things are it's what needs to be done, but it's not the coolest thing.
right? Indeed.
When it comes to at the end of the day, that's what makes a hero, but it's the most boring aspect of a hero.
Really, to you?
I would say more so to the
To the general?
mass, just in general. It's the reason why you see now there's more, it's not really criticism, but a lot of poking fun at Batman. Like, I think one of the worst things that you could do in a series is have a character, TV show, or whatever just blatantly disrespect the character. And you got that when you had Homecoming. No, is it Homecoming? No, Peacemaker. Peacemaker. Blatantly just diss Batman in
Yeah,
his show,
he dissed a lot of people.
and when you look at it, it's like there is a point to be had, but also they don't do that simply because you're not better than the rest. And they're they are right when they say that when killing or that type of stuff is just the easy way out. And once you do that the first time and you have the power,
What's to stop you from doing it over and over?
yeah, right? Next thing you know, you're gonna be finding out, well, I could just kill this man. If he's gonna save them, let me just kill this man. It's the easy way out.
Yeah, yeah, and
And it just doesn't make you better than the rest. And then there was also a point as well where for some characters that were criminals or crooks before they became superheroes, they would say, "Oh yeah, I needed a second, third, or fourth chance before I finally turned my life away, or turn not turn my life away, but turn my life around."
mm,
And
like Plastic Man, right? Yeah, he was one of
mhm,
those.
yeah, he needed multiple chances, and if he never got those chances, number one, he wouldn't be able to be the hero that he is today.
Hmm. I see. I agree. Mm.
Yeah, it's just that it's that weird thing, right? And also, you you also see that in TV shows and movies now, where I think they want to try and make the heroes a little bit too relatable
How do you
instead
mean?
of, yeah, like they're trying to make them relatable.
Well, how can it be
Like,
too relatable?
so like in the movies, right? So for
Mhm.
example, there to me there is a difference when you make a character and then when you make a character to try to resonate with an audience. Does that make sense?
I yeah, I get what you mean because if you
So there's it's one thing where you just create a character that happens to be black or that happens to be this ethnicity or something like that, and then you just go with it. But there's the other aspect where, like,
no,
Miss
ah,
Marvel, Miss
oh,
Marvel, right? I I may not be explaining it best, but
I
let's take
know.
Miss
Well,
Marvel.
hopefully this can of words. All right,
I mean,
I'll
it's
let
not.
you. I'll let you. I'll let you go, bro. I'll let you go. Go on.
I don't think it's a can of worm, but
No,
you
it's
got
not. But you got to really tread carefully with how you say this because.
okay. I'll say it like this. We'll compare it like this.
Mhm.
Superman ain't black, right?
Yep, straight up. Yeah, yeah,
He white.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He is. That's a white boy.
That's a white boy. And as a nigga, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't. While it is cool to have a black Superman,
Sorry, Michael B. Jordan.
I ain't caring for it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
right? And then if we want a perfect example,
Mhm,
it's we know that nigga Peter Parker. He
mhm.
white.
Yep, yep. Another white boy.
He another white boy, and he dabbles in snow bunnies.
Okay, yo, no, yo, 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 yo.
Whoa, I'm
You losing the
cooking.
plot. You losing the
I,
plot.
I'm cooking. I'm cooking. There's just different seasonings adding right now. Hold on. I don't need Spider Man to be black.
What?
However, wait. th- I'm adding some more. However, when we did get Miles, it was interesting and he became a good character because of who Miles is. I mean,
Hmm. There was some
you
growing
wouldn't
pains.
you
There
wouldn't
was some growing
say
pains.
yeah, I mean, but you wouldn't say that when they created Miles, it's like, all right, boys, we got a black Spider-Man. So let's try and appease
Mark
uh
the black community.
yeah. And it's like, no, right? As a
Mm.
black person or as anyone, I mean, I'm intelligent enough. I hope I hope you see me as that, but I am intelligent enough to relate to someone who also isn't black,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Okay, I see what you mean now. Like, it's not just because they're black that you should be able to relate to them. You should relate to them as a person, and the skin color should come second. You know,
Right? So
like I relate to Peter Parker. I'm broke too. You know,
yeah,
we both broke. I get it.
we both broke. We both have bitch problems, right? Like he doing a little better than me, but we still struggling from time to time.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with that.
right? But I would say when it comes to heroes, the relatability aspect doesn't come from hey, you're just like me.
It
Same
can.
color. It
It
can.
can. You
It
know, like
can, but if it's a weak way to do it, I feel
uh,
relatability comes from you see your hero, whether it's a favorite hero or a hero that you like, get put through situations that make you think.
mhm.
I feel that is more so relatability
Okay, yeah, I feel
in
that.
in, in
I
that
feel that.
aspect.
However, I can't, and I don't think you can either. You can't deny the what's the word? Not power, the impact that it has going to like a movie and seeing a hero that looks like you, right? And that's all
Eh,
I really have for that point because
eh,
sometimes I know recently they've been overdoing it. They've been throwing a lot of people that I don't want to say it like that, but like are just there to fill a quota, right? And I'm not gonna mention no names, mention no heroes in particular. I feel like a lot of them, like you can just feel it, right?
mhm.
But other characters, I will name some, like Black Panther. Yeah, he's dope. And he's black. That shit's cool.
The funniest thing is that
Like,
I've seen some videos where it's like their depiction of Wakanda is like an insult to black people.
yo, yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, yes, it is. But that's something we can talk about some
Well,
other time.
Wakanda is a nation that you can in the MCU that you can easily infiltrate, ladies and gentlemen. If you need
Yeah,
an example, watch the first
Claw.
one.
Ulysses Claw.
Challenge
You
the
need.
throne,
Mm-hmm. You
and
need
they can't.
another example? Watch the second one. The homeboy, Namor pulled up with absolutely no resistance. No resistance
Boom,
whatsoever.
and just demolish the city. So
Twice. Twice. The first time to talk to the princess and the queen. Second time is to fuck their shit up. And you
yeah,
know what? I'm still not over the fact that this man, spoilers, he came up, killed the queen, and this month, no one spun back and got it back in blood, bro. I don't give a fuck if they're like, oh, we're getting eternal war. That's your mom, man. That is your mom. I'm sorry. I'm
the
going on a crazy rant. We're literally getting off topic here.
I would
But
say to close off that one, the thing is they just don't do very interesting perspectives because while Black Panther is supposed to be a hero, he's a king. And
mhm,
last I checked, if you're a king or a queen,
your duty
you're
is to
not,
your people.
yeah, you're not really a hero. Your actions could be seen as something
Heroic.
heroic, but your first plan of action is what's good for my people. And throughout the movie, you don't really see that being done because
No, what? Now that you mention that, I'm really thinking about it. Yo, they
if
really
you,
treat Wakanda so foul in the MCU because they really don't. They Wakanda does not worry about themselves. They be like, all right, bro. Sure, you want to have your fight with Thanos? You can do it here. What? What? What are you talking about? Do y'all not care about your country, man?
I mean, they were the country that was just the most useful. I mean, they had the barrier, but you really see them being done foul when I don't know about you, but this is just the dark side of me. But in the second movie, where they went to the conference of the nations
Mm-hmm.
and they realized that different nations are trying to steal their vibranium, I would just be like, all right, enough is enough. Y'all think shit's sweet. Y'all forget who y'all fucking with. This
Mm-hmm.
time, they're alive. Next time, find out and just leave.
Right.
Because it to me it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You this is it gets into politics, but that is the unique position that you have when you're dealing with nations. These are nations. People, when you have to make sure a nation prospers or doesn't get the bad end of the stick, you need to make hard choices.
Yep.
That's the fact. And to me, in the second movie, they didn't really go for that because, like, listen, you right. You killed my queen, flooded my capital. I'm spinning the block. I don't care. You
Yep.
get a nuke drop. I'm taking some bodies,
Yep.
right? And
Yup.
you don't really see that happen. And even the way that it was settled, it's not like there's that respect factor. It was just like, oh yeah, you beat me. Nah, nigga, I want you to understand, shit's not sweet, but we
No,
gonna
it
work
ain't.
together for the greater good. I'll put my pride aside. We work together, but don't think shit's sweet out here. Fuck up, it's over.
But
But they just didn't. They just didn't do that. I feel that was a miss. But
yeah, a year and some change later, our thoughts on that movie are steadily changing. But back on topic, right? We were talking about how some heroes are clearly made a certain way to appease a certain group of people, right?
mhm.
And that doesn't really. I don't think there's any way you can make a good hero. And your first thing, like when you're creating the character, right? Say you're in the character design phase, you're like, man, all right, bro, I'm gonna make this character black. They grew up in the hood. Nope, cut it. You're done.
You're done.
You're already fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Should not be the first thing you focus on. Should be focusing on the
Like,
character itself. Like it's his core or their or her core. Like what kind of thing they struggle
and
with.
do you know what's the funny thing? Most
Hmm.
of these heroes already start off like that, right?
Yeah,
Except for some anomaly. Most of the heroes that we have now are heroes because of what they experienced in their
growing up.
past, and
Yeah,
either they experience something that
something
one
traumatic, something life
traumatic that
changing.
once, hmm or they just got inspired. So
Yup.
already trying to be like, oh yeah, we got this dude coming off the hood. It's just like, bro, it's a
Yeah,
hero. Like, of
yeah,
course they're gonna have a bad. Why it don't make sense right now.
yeah, bro. Like we all know, everyone knows the infamous story. Two rich people and their son walk down an alleyway. Crazy ass goon pulls up with a gun and kills the two parents. We know who that becomes, bro. We all know what that ends up being, right?
Hmm.
Same thing. Alien comes from another planet, lands on a farm. Happy couple picks up the baby and raises him up. We know where that ends up, and
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
those kinds of things are the core of the character, and you feel that those moments change who they are, right? Same thing. That having the development or damn, I lost my train of thought. Really lost my train of thought in the middle of the thing. Yeah. But that having influence over your character's whole journey is interesting. At least to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Batman. I just described his backstory. And now, because of how it went down, he does not mess with guns. Like at all. Right?
Hmm.
And you know that. You know why, because you know his backstory. You know what a gun did to him. He doesn't mess with them. It's interesting
Hmm.
to me that it's constantly being brought back up.
Yeah. And I mean, also it goes to the point where nowadays when you're watching these superhero stuff, it's that you don't get the reason why they want it. A perfect example is Miss Marvel. I mean, she had a show and she was part of a movie.
Mhm.
And at the end of it, it's just like, well, why do you want to be a hero?
Ah, um,
Because, like, come
she
on.
was inspired by Captain Marvel. Honestly, I've never
Is it
liked that because she
inspired by Captain Marvel, or are you fanboy or
it's both.
fangirl?
It's
Because
both. She meat rides the
what
fuck out of Captain Marvel.
what did we haven't even seen a pivotal moment, or if they tried it, they did they didn't do a good job at it. But we didn't really see a pivotal moment where she gets inspired
That's
by
true.
Captain
That's true.
Marvel. All we've seen is just, oh my god, Captain
And
Marvel
Captain Marvel's so cool.
is
I
so
want to be
cool.
just like her. And like, what?
Yeah,
Huh?
like,
Like,
okay, what? It,
look,
it's that weird aspect.
we're not saying her parents need to get murked. All right, we're not saying that. It's just like something has to trigger this change in a person.
Like, you know what's the best example?
What?
Miles from the video game.
Mm-hmm. Go, go on.
His story arc is perfect example of why he why he got inspired to become Spider-Man. He lost his dad, and
Mm-hmm.
then he uh I think in
Meet
the
Spider
first,
Man.
yeah, in the first game he tried to do a right thing and help a kid or something like that. And then Spider-Man pops up, saves the day, and takes a little time. He was like, "Hey, you're doing the right thing, but you're not like me. Let's
Got to
get this
be able to
straight."
protect yourself.
You
Yes,
got it
I love that moment when he
right,
hung
and then
back
he
and gave him a little. a little coaching job.
right? And he swung at Spider-Man. Then he was like, "Ooh, damn,
Felt that.
I felt that," right? And then that at that point, that changed his perspective. We saw a kid being devastated from losing
Mhm.
his father, and just that interaction with Spider-Man changed him a little bit, right?
I
Of course,
know.
he was helping out with Feast and everything, and then now you
Ah,
set the seeds in motion. And so when the spider actually bit him and he goes on to do what he does, you're not you're not surprised or anything.
I'm
It's
not gonna lie.
it's an
The more I
outcome
think
that you
about it,
see.
the more I think about it, it do sound like your parents do got to get murked for the sake of your backstory, right? Like, and
Yes.
that's crazy because
Oh, is that true?
either
Because
murked or not. I'm not
because
here because
if that's true, I remember a conversation between us maybe not so long ago, but a while back, where I was called crazy when I was asked like, "Yo, if your parents got murked in order for you to be a superhero, how would you react?" And I said I would mourn and move on to save
no,
the day.
no, it's
I
because of how
remember.
quick it's because of how quickly you were like you made it seem like it wouldn't affect me, bro. Light work, no reaction. I'm moving on. Like, yo,
No,
nah,
is
nah. We were
is
like, how long would it take you to get over it? You were like a week, two, or some shit like that. We were like, yo, that's crazy.
I gotta save the city. I gotta save my city.
That's true. That's true. But okay, another example of the man, another example of the inspiration that that's why I'm saying either dead or absent because I was thinking instead of looking at it from the Marvel and DC point of view, we can
Well, I
shift
mean,
back over to My Hero,
not
Deku.
always,
Hmm?
because before you go, not always. It's the common thing, but
It is
you
super
do have
common.
you do have Superman though.
No, no, no. Come
Oh
on,
well,
bro.
I mean, yes,
Krypton,
his
Krypton,
planet died. I'll give you that, but I mean, Martha and
John.
John, right, teaching him and stuff like that.
That is
Would that mean
true.
if
That is
none of
true.
if they died, it was through probably old
Dark side or
age.
some shit. Oh, true. True, 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 true. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. That I don't
But
know if I
it
said
just
you have
depends.
to, but like it is a common theme, like you said. Like
Yeah.
Superman, is he an exception? I mean, yeah, his original birth parents are gone, dead,
Hmm.
vanished, released under the dirt. Okay, I'm ODing, but yeah, they're good, they're dead. But that didn't affect him because he
They're
was a
they're
baby
s-
and didn't really
they're a speck of
comprehend it.
dust.
Yeah,
Let me stop. Let me
they're
stop.
stardust.
It started.
But he was not old enough to comprehend that, so you can't use that as like, oh, this influenced him as a person. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
later on down the line when he found out, he was devastated. He was like, damn, that's crazy. My mom and dad cooked just like that. But
Yeah, but I don't agree with you. I mean, every other main hero had a tragic past. I mean, Green Lantern, he looked up to his dad, I believe. Dad died in a airplane
mhm.
um
Which
malfunction.
one?
Hal
Kyle,
Jordan.
Kyle Jordan. Okay,
Uh
sorry.
Barry, we all know what's going on with Barry.
Yep.
Um
Reverse Flash murked his mom, framed his dad. Crazy work.
Batman, we know what happened with Batman.
Peter
Um
Parker. Oh my gosh, the man can't catch a break.
no, no, no,
Especially
no. Uh Video game. Peter Parker can't catch a break.
no, he can't. It's actually tragic as fuck.
He can't catch
like,
a break.
like you think about the stuff he has to go through, and he's able to just get up and keep smiling and enjoy life. Man, that takes a special kind of strength. Like, I would not have blamed him if he chose to save Aunt May with that cure, dog. I would not have blamed him. But he's like, no, the city needs me. The city needs this cure. Sorry, Aunt May, and
That hit deep.
that hit deep. too bad. Like honestly, the second game didn't have a moment like that, which it could be a good or a bad thing because you don't want to overdo moments like that. But like, ugh, ugh.
I mean, they number one, it's two. I think it's two reasons. Number one,
Hmm.
it's not Aunt May.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to kill off somebody, even if you do a poor job at it,
Oh,
you can still get a good reaction if it's Aunt May.
No Way
And
Home too. I just remember that. Man, that's crazy.
and also because lack of development, I guess.
That's true. I mean, they could have jumped the shark and killed MJ, but whew, thank God they didn't. That would have been awful.
They could have jumped the shark and actually killed off Peter, but well,
Yeah,
they're not gonna
yeah.
do that.
Or they could have really legit killed off Harry, but they didn't do that either. I feel like that
But
would have been fine if for the sake of their story, but yeah, that is a little OD. Just seems like this man's life is just martyr tragedy.
yes, sir. So, but go on with your point about My Hero and Deku.
Yeah, Deku, his mom is there. His dad, for all intents and purposes, he's not dead. Like we know he ain't dead. It's been stated that he just works overseas, but that nigga's absent in his life, right? Right?
Mm.
But Deku was inspired to be a hero from watching All Might save people with a smile, right? No tragic backstory, nothing crazy. Well, tragic enough, right? Actually,
I
getting
mean,
bullied for being quirkless is pretty tragic.
that's his tragic backstory. Yeah, it'd be like, oh,
I'm quirkless.
nah. When you think about it, bro, that little Deku was so excited. He was like, "I'm gonna be like All Might." Goes to the
Niggas,
doctor, and that doctor so nonchalant, be like, "Yeah, nigga, you ain't got it.
you ain't got that dog. You,
You ain't got a quirk, homeboy." Yeah, and then
but no,
looks at his
see,
mom, and he was like, "Mom, can I still be?" And the mom just doesn't know what to say. You
yeah,
see the
bro.
hesitation in her. It's just like,
I've seen some criticism for Deku's mother for not being fully supportive of his dream. You can't blame her, right? You don't want to just throw your son into the fire and get himself killed trying to be a hero with no quirk to protect himself. But at the same time, not having the support of your parents is probably devastating.
yeah. And then that I honestly would say that first episode of My Hero, well done.
Yes, yes. Seeing Deku throw away his self regard to save Bakugo, man, that hooked me. That hooked me.
Shit, that
Right?
even inspired All Might himself.
It did. It was like a cycle. All Might saw the kid, and it reminded him of his younger self. He was like, man, I've been wilding, bro. So what if I have a limit on my form? I still got to do what I got to do, and he did it.
Exactly.
And then throughout the show, it's actually very wholesome when you think about it. How All Might and Deku they keep pushing each other to be better, right? All Might looks at Deku as the source of pride and like pushes them forward. Like, no, I have to be better to inspire the next generation to help to
Mhm.
pass on my knowledge and improve them. And Deku's looking at All Might like this, is my mentor. I have to do better to live to survive his legacy, improve it, and show why he is who he is. Man, man.
Yeah. I'll also say My Hero is definitely, I think it's because it is taking the perspective of students that strive to be heroes, but it is that series where they have their parents. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, most
Like
of them.
most of them,
Ooh, nah, that you
unless
say that. Yeah, they're all really just opposite examples of what we said earlier, right? About being a hero, having to have both your parents be dead or some shit. Because pretty much everyone in 1A, both their parents are alive and well and kicking, right?
Mhm.
Like, who does anyone have? I mean, for everyone's parents that we see, yeah, pretty much both of them are alive, right?
Yeah.
the only one I can think of is Deku's dad just working overseas, but he's not dead. He's still there. Hmm,
Hmm.
damn.
And the yeah, that is one of the shows that
Well,
we also have the fact that the villains are the ones. Funny enough, the villains are the ones who end up like that because the either their parents betrayed them or the heroes
Heidi,
betray them.
yes, but ugh, that's kind of showing exactly what I said earlier. A true hero has the strength to overcome their grief and do what's right. I'm not calling these people weak, but a lot of them go through situations and understandably choose the dark path, right? Like Toga, her quirk literally just was set up from day one to just not be a hero. Like, there's not much you can do with a quirk like that to be a good guy, right?
Hmm.
So she went down the dark path because everyone, and I mean everyone, was like, "Nah, you're a monster. You're a demon." Blah blah blah. And then Dobby, same thing, pushed to the brink by his father, and pretty much is shown as a child that you're not good enough. Your little brother is the next him, so we're gonna look at him and keep focusing on him. It's
I
like,
mean,
damn,
he got jealous, so yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Shigaraki, he just was like,
Ah, Shigaraki's backstory, man. Whew. I'm struggling to remember. He was seen to have no quirk, right? No, his quirk just awakened one day at the wrong time, and
and
he murked his entire family.
just decimated everybody.
Yep. I mean, at the same, his father was also abusive,
Oh yeah.
but well, there's no real but about it. Abuse is abuse. But like, you see his father's backstory. It's funny how we're calling it all backstories. Like,
Wasn't
he was the
wait,
son of. Hmm?
wasn't one of the parents related to
Yes,
the who was
he
it?
was the son. His father was the son of All Might's mentor, the ninth,
Yeah.
and because of the impact of her being a hero had on his life, he grew up hating heroes because his mom chose being a hero over being a mother, which, you know, that is a choice. It certainly is a choice,
That is a choice.
right? So, in his own way, to push his son from that away from that life, he was really hard on him because his son idolized heroes, and he was like, "Nah, heroes are trash." And right at that
Hmm.
point, he was just inflicted way too much damage on his son's psyche. Quirk activated, and yeah, rest is history.
Yep.
Now, My Hero paints it as society failing Tomura because no one wanted to help a crying boy walking down the street, and that probably would have stopped him from walking down this path. But I don't know, man. Seems seems like whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen regardless of who helped him.
Like they say, it's never too late to be saved.
Yeah, mass murder is one of those things that can be forgiven.
Do your
Yeah,
time. Do your time, buddy.
do your time. Eventually, you'll be redeemed. Like, you know, Naruto, you were the coolest guy, Obito, despite the fact that you killed my parents
My
on
fault.
my birthday.
My fault.
Like, what?
My fault.
Okay,
It
like,
was just convenient. What
yeah,
can I say?
yeah, okay, buddy. Now, I mean, that's not just the ideal that spread through my hero. I'm pretty sure, like, DC has that thing going. Batman, instead of we talked about earlier, instead of taking the easy way out and murking his villains, he throws them in an asylum so that they can be treated for their mental health issues. But it's like, even if they get treated, you know,
I think
Joker murdered like 1,000 people that night. Like, what do we do after we treat him? We just
that's why uh that's why I think it's good to have different types of heroes, right? Where they're not necessarily killing the same characters, but basically what I am trying to say is that's why anti-hero stories in a way are necessary,
Yeah.
because for some people there is that fatigue, you know, like, yes, I know it's the right thing to do, right? Don't kill them, put them through the uh, justice system and stuff like that. But bro, he just slaughtered
He's a
25 people.
monster.
He's a monster. Let me put a cap in his head. You can't, please. I'm sorry, but you can't.
That's not
So
my decision to make. But he killed four. Bro, it really do. Like,
that's that's why anti-heroes, they're good, right? Their story is a pretty good story because it's that
right.
feeling when you did what you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that thing is, it's
Yeah.
not pretty, but you did what you had to do.
Right. Like those are traditional hero stories. They're what you know you should do, but those
So like
anti-heroes are what you want to do. Right.
so like would you call someone a hero if would you call someone a hero if
I'm like a
they
hero.
got they got a mission where it's like, yo, so the most evil guy is gonna be hanging out with kids. You need to kill him and the kids.
Whoa,
What?
whoa, 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 whoa.
No
No,
witnesses. No witnesses.
no, that's not a hero. That's not a hero.
But
Look,
you're doing what you have to do.
what you
It's the
have to
most
do, wait for
evil
another
guy.
opportunity. Wait for another
This is the
opportunity, bro.
only opportunity.
Taking
And
out innocent
he's
children
he he
to stop
eluded
them?
us too far. He's eluded us too much. This is our only chance.
Nah, buddy. Nah, bro. Alright, we'll make another chance because ain't no way. Ain't no way, buddy. That's insane. Like, but a lot of anti-hero stories will test that. They'll see how far the character willing to go. Most of them are not willing to go that far. All right, because killing innocent people to get one person is on the verge of villainy. Let's be real. Let's be real. All right. If you're willing to kill innocents, then you're wilding.
Fair enough. That is fair enough.
Right. Like, dude. Now, right? Okay. I'm trying to think of an example because that came to my head, bro. Now, when it comes to collateral damage, though, right? Some
Would
people might
that
look.
count as collateral? Let me stop.
No,
Let me
it
stop.
could. That's literally what happened in Invincible. All these innocent niggas getting caught up in a superhero fight. I'm just like, bro.
Nah, like, bro, where do Mark and at that time where did Mark live?
Uh, I don't know the exact state.
Let me tell you, that was the biggest collateral I've ever seen.
Yes, dog, and like you
I
see a lot more in other shows, but you don't see like blood, bones, and guts just going everywhere. No, no, no,
That
no,
is the
no.
biggest collateral, bro. I think there was one. Nah, bro. Where was it when the building fell? Where he tried to
Yes,
save and all he
yes.
was holding was.
The yes, yes, yes. That was
Oh
insane.
no!
That was insane. And of course, the infamous train theme.
Oh my god, bro!
Yes. Now, if you were willing to do all of that to stop the villain, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Right? Like Mark was dragged into that against his will by is Omni Man considered a villain? Like he's not the big bad of the show, but
Let's just say, um, what do they call? He's an invasive species.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's a good title for him. He's an
He's an
invasive
invasive
species,
species.
and it's wild. It's wild. Um,
Nah, like that scene is just crazy, bro. Because when you
brutal.
look at it in the perspective of those innocent bystanders,
Nah, man.
if you were unlucky, you were unlucky. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
He got
Like
caught up in the
you
wrong,
thought it was gonna be a normal day, and it was
and
your last day.
yes, here comes Invincible flying through a building, and yeah, that's the last thing you see. It's the last thing you see. Invincible flying at you because that's it. You're done.
You're done, and it's just like, damn, bro.
Hmm. Right now, the reason I brought it up because like a lot of the time you see stuff happen. Like, I'm sorry, in Justice League, Superman gets into a lot of fights with a lot of collateral damage. Like anyone listening, I want you to take the time to look up Superman versus Shazam Justice League. That was the most unnecessary collateral damage I've ever seen. It felt like Superman was just throwing that man into every building he could to try to slow him down. And it's like, dude, somebody's got to pay for this. Somebody lives here. Somebody has to deal with this, right? And that's what I wanted to bring up. These collateral damages and fights be ruining lives, okay?
It- Straight
Because
up.
there's a lot of these people probably can't afford to get a new house, can't afford to get a new car just because
Where
someone
my
want to throw your Honda Civic into dark side and it did nothing.
where the fuck is my superhero insurance, bro?
Like that's my bro. Like, yeah, sure, you could probably attribute that to in universe they have insurance for that kind of thing, but nah, insurance can only go so far, bro. Insurance can't make a new house appear. You know what I mean?
Like, bro, you hoping, you just hoping if you in New York, you hoping no villain posted up in your street. Because if it's a worthy villain, those cars are getting chucks.
Yes, bro. And it's your car is gone.
You
All those memories you had, your
gone.
first date, your graduation, your first day in college, gone, done. The car is finito. You thought you could give that to your first child? No.
Nah. Mm-mm.
Superman needed it to fight Darkseid. It serves its purpose, its ultimate purpose.
Oh my god. I mean, on a tangent, is the same feeling I get when I be watching uh kaiju movies, and I'm just like, bruh.
Nah, kaiju movies are the worst because I feel like because in the superhero universe, I'm sorry, let me go back up. In the superhero universe, like we said, there's probably superhero insurance. In all the kaiju movies I've seen, all these niggas come out of nowhere, right? There's no way insurance covers that shit. These people are just owed, right? Would a
Right.
kaiju fall under a natural disaster?
I guess so, yeah. At that point,
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Because if not, yeah, your insurance premiums done.
done.
Uh,
But yeah, the collateral is crazy sometimes in the superhero. Hey, that could be inspiration too.
yes.
You
Yeah.
lose your car. Nah, bro, I'm gonna be a better superhero.
Yeah. It would be goofy as hell, but yeah, I can see that. Like, nah, bro. Uh, but I mean, to reiterate the first initial question, what it takes to make a great hero, I feel, you know, takes the inspiration having to be something relatable, the inherent relatability, like I just said, and also, they have to just be cool. Let's be honest. Like, you can have all the right stuff, but if you're not cool,
I think you had to go a little bit more specific. I would say have a good character design.
a good character design. Mm, mm, no. A good character design.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
I
a
mean,
good.
oh yeah, that's true. That's true. If you want to break into the big leagues, you have to have a good character. Like, you're not gonna show up and just look like booty butt cheeks, dog.
Yeah.
Like, what's that man? Uh, that nigga from Class 1A, bruh. The nigga with the web arms. Come on, bro. Get out of here. But then we got Todoroki with the half and half, bro. He looks sick as fuck.
Yeah, so having a good character design can help you become very cool. Very
So,
so,
which
but
I
I
mean,
would
to be
say
take it more meta, a good costume, right?
that's fair enough. Yeah. And on the topic of relatability, I mean, any way it goes, but I think the best option for relatability is having your hero or the character get put through situations that
Overcome it.
overcome it or not, but the situations that they go through emulate um emotions that you could relate to. So, they go through a situation that is very tough for them. Like in a sense where it was hard to pick you knew what the hero knew what the right choice was, but it was still very hard for them to pick.
Mm,
That
yep.
is a situation that is relatable with damn near everybody. You
Yep.
you go
Like
through
we said
that
earlier,
every day.
cure Aunt May or cure New York. Mm.
Exactly. Now you may not be doing it in that in that type of scale, but it's like,
Yeah.
do I have some veggies today or am I just eating junk food? We know what the right answer is, but it's
Wait,
tough.
that's what you meant? Okay. Yo. Okay, maybe that is a very extreme scale because not most people. I don't think anyone's really going to that have to make that tough choice. But
You never know, man. Some people struggling.
yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
okay. Uh, do I cheat on my beautiful? Let me stop.
Wait. No. Whoa. We don't cheat, bro. We don't cheat out here, bro.
We don't. Yeah, we. Don't.
Hmm.
I was wilding. I take that back.
Yo, man. Man got scolded. Okay, but continue your point.
But you see that relatability, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Where that you get put in a situation and you could relate to what the situation is trying to say. Basically,
Yeah.
that's about it.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, all in all, that's kind of what we think makes the quality marks the qualities of a great hero. You know,
Yeah.
I that's what we like. All right then. So I think we can call it there. All right. So it's been a great episode. Countercast out.